going on, bro? We got Tnote in the studio today. How you feeling today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's
I'm
what's
good.
up, man. I know you focus on reasons, so there's a lot of inquiring minds on some of the stuff that you do. So we just wanted to get a little outlet of what you do and what versions you use and how you go about using it.
Well, I create most of my songs, tracks through Reasons. Reasons, I feel like it's a great tool because it opens the wide range of creativity for producers as far as shaping and handling your sound, creating new sounds.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to use a stock sound. You can start off using the stock sound as a base and change up that sound, and you can save different templates, and then basically have one sound and create 7 more sounds.
Nice.
So Reasons is a good thing to even start to create your own library with. But a lot of artists, a lot of producers, people involved with music, it's like they want their sound stock, like they want to be able to just do it. And that, to me, that takes away the creativity of it, because then you can't put that stamp on it. That's mine.
That's yours.
Because it's hard to find that sound somewhere else.
So for the beginner, like say someone who's interested in production, would you say Reasons is like the best thing for them, or should they try somewhere else and progress into Reasons, or Reasons is the all one shop deal?
Well, honestly, there's so many things out there. Like, a lot of people love like Fruity Loops, and
Yeah, that's
I
a big
think and
one.
a lot of people like Fruity Loops, and I think Fruity Loops is a good software too. But it's basically, you just try different things. See, the first thing, I didn't really try many other things. A friend of mine introduced me to Reasons, Reasons version 3. He gave me that's when you didn't need an ignition key or nothing, and he just gave me a copy to down. I just gave me the software, and I just downloaded it, and then from there I fell in love with it. I decided I'm gonna pick one, stick with it, and master it. Instead of trying to use so many different softwares, and then you really and then you find out something else, then all of a sudden you forget about this one and you focusing on this one, and then you hear something else and want to try this. I'm gonna stay with one, master it to where the sound is incredible, or the work that I do, and people's like, you did that in Reasons? Nah, you ain't do that in Reasons.
Okay. It seems like it has all the necessity things you need as far as production. So how do you first go about a track? I mean, it sounds like it has so much things.
Well, me, I like to set up a base, which I call a grid, where I create Reasons lets you create a template, like for your drum. Let me open up a session where I can show, for example.
And this is like a template of what you normally would do?
Yeah, it's like how I have everything set up, like how my setup is, which actually helped me set up my song and how I want to work. Like, for example, my rack. Before each of my songs are started, I create a mixer here, which is just for my percussions. I'll have my kick, my snare, my hi-hats, my snare layer, my effects, 1, 2, 3, and down.
Okay.
And then that is already inserted in my template. And then in the sequencer, you'll see how the kick is on its own track, the snare is on its own track, the hi-hats on its own track. Everything is on its own track, right from the rack, and then I save the template.
Okay.
So when I name it new track. Now when I'm ready to start a new track, I don't have to go and put things on each track or create each track. It's already waiting for me. And then I just go. I want to go to my kick, on my kick drums, on my kick drum, snare, hi-hat, snare layer, my effects, everything is all the modules is already set up,
Okay.
and it's convenient. And then on the other side, that's where my melody modules are, and everything else besides percussion, which all fall in the main mixer, the SSXL. That's
Oh, it has the SSL.
yeah, yep. That's it's crazy.
Nice.
And then the other knobs is up here that you want to work with. Here's your compressor, your compressor needle. It's like the real thing.
I mean, in this day and age, you could do so much more with compact space,
Yeah.
which is cool. So now, when you got your outlet, you got your templates ready. What actually motivates your sound? Like, how do you go about just connecting everything that you just showed me? Like, it's all lined up ready. How do you just get that first drop into production?
Well, I go about as how I feel. I just say I don't really set out to. All right. I used to say I'm gonna do a pop track, and then I start it, and then it winds up going somewhere else. I just kind of feel it out. I don't. Sometimes I may start with the melody
Yeah.
and no percussion, or sometimes I may start with the percussion and then
Mm.
build it from there, or build it vice versa, depending on how I feel and depending on how I want to express my idea in the music.
Okay.
So basically, there's no one set way that I do it. It's just I just feel my way through, and then however the track goes is just where it finishes at. That's just what then I label it, whether it's a hip hop track or
Oh,
R&B track
R&B.
from there. Yeah.
And once you finish your tracks, do you like set them out? Like, how do you go about getting or picking artists, particularly for your music? I know a lot of producers have a hard time finding the right mixture of artists to get on their tracks. Yeah, how do you go about doing that?
Well, as I'm building the track, I already have the idea of who I can see, who I can hear on the track.
Mm.
So once that gets inputted in, then that just helps me create that track in that direction, but still leaves the freedom for it to go where it wants. Because it's been a couple of tracks that I've started, and I'm like, all right, I can hear this one on it, and then as I'm finishing, I'm like, whoa, this one, oh what, Nicki Minaj sounds better on this track though. Then I thought I was gonna put Ricky Rose on it, but I was like, nah, Nicki better on it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then that's the direction
You
it's
build.
going. Yeah,
I
and
got
then
you.
I got my topic of what kind of track it is, and so forth.
So, I got a question. Say you get an artist. You have the artists who are big on their music. They stuck in their music and they want you for production. And in the middle of the drive and the templates and the filling, he says, nah. I ain't feeling that. I want some 808 drums and I want the snap snares and I want it simplified.
Well, all that, like I said, that long as the bass is there, that which is the grid, that I call it, all that is just going into that module where I got my kicks at, and just look for a kick that he want to use. Look for a snare, go into the next module, see my snare, look for the snare you want to use. Any, that's just the sound that could be changed. I don't have to change my format. That's already there. That's already in place. That makes it easier to be creative.
Do you think when you're into your production, it's more suitable for you to produce alone or with the artist present or among artists who are looking for music?
Well, to me, it doesn't matter, because I like working with the artist as well, because that also creates creativity between the both of us. And at the same time, when the job is done, when it's done, they like it.
True.
You don't have to
You
wonder if they like it. They was in there
and they
put their input. Yeah,
you.
they was in there. Their input was in it as you creating the track, so they know they liking it as you're going along. So at the end of the day, you're done with it. The approval's already there. Now then after that is just cleaning it up and shipping it out.
Do you feel the way of production now, for say particularly New York artists, has changed from back, I guess back in the days or prior, the 2000s?
I feel like it has changed. It more 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 and more people doing it now because they want to get paid. They want they just want they want money. They want
Yeah.
fame. And that to me kills the longevity in the music, because now it seems like one hit wonders instead of you picking up that record. So you can pick up a KRS-One record right now. You could pick up a Rakim record right now and still rock to it like you was back then.
True indeed.
You still rock to it like
True indeed.
damn. I mean, I can listen to a Rakim record right now and say damn, he was still before his time.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, nowadays the way the music is so watered down, and it's so, I don't care. I just want the bread. I'm just gonna get what I can and get out.
I mean, you hear artists that say that in their songs. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I actually watched a Waka Flocka interview that he did, and he actually said, "I'm not in this for the long run. I'm just in it to make my money, make what I can, and I'm out." That I was startled by that. I was like, wow. That just tells you where the industry is at. And if the artists think like that, the labels are going to think like
yeah,
that.
without a doubt.
So the labels are going to use you for what they can use it for right now, and then throw you to the side. You washed up now.
Word up.
And you haven't even been in the game that long, and you washed up already. So I mean, but it's changed a lot though. The quality of music and the caring of the music. Like me, I love doing music. So whether I sell it or not, I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's just my passion. It's what I love to do. And it's like an NBA player that loves to play ball. Kobe loved to play ball. Jordan loved to play ball.
Yeah, he came back
LeBron
a few
James loved to
times.
play ball. But you see the longevity in their skill.
Yeah.
Their skill didn't diminish until, I mean, like you said, they retired and came back.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan retired and came back and still was playing. Still was like he never left. And that's how music should be. I'm trying to bring it. I'm trying to take it back to being a composer instead of just doing beats or just
Being
creating
beat
music.
maker
I want to create pieces.
Versus a producer, right?
Yeah,
I got a question. You mentioned and you hit a few points about the industry and business and the game and longevity. How do you feel about the internet? You could go on the internet now and there's producers or beat makers, whichever one you prefer to call them, making beats and offering them for free, or offering 100 beats for like $10. How do you feel that interferes with the market of music and production as a whole?
Well, it hurts. It helps it and hurts it. It helps it because it's exposure. Everybody uses the web for exposure, and that's basically the big bowl of it, the big gist of it. But it hurts us because you're actually getting things for nothing on the web now, and with producers creating 100 tracks and selling them for $100 or whatever, or however the case may be, it just seems like the lack of sensitivity in their work as far as the appreciation they have for their own work. Like, if I create a piece that I feel like this is amazing, I feel like to myself it's amazing, I'm not letting it go for $5.
Yeah, I feel that.
I totally disagree with that. I mean, if you're going to create something, you're going to put time into something. Now if you're doing 5-minute beats, and you got 15, 20 beats that you did in 5 minutes because you chopped up and sampled or whatever and so forth, hey, you just putting it out there for people to you just being a virus.
Yeah.
But if you're doing work that you care about, that's emotional to you, then I feel that it should be worth something, not just
beats,
$20. If I want to do it for the industry, all of those are different. It's going to take a different approach.
Gotcha.
And that's why, to sum it all up, know why you're doing it. That way you can take and focus on that lane to get you where you want to be in that topic of why you're doing it.
True indeed. No, that's basically best said. So before we end here, is there anything else that you wanted to share or feed the people with, man, before we call this to a closure?
Well, I had a couple of tracks in mind just to let people hear something.
That's most definitely. That's the best way to lead the people with some of that head nod to it, you know?
Like here, wait a minute, 1 second. Like here's, for example, of like this track that I'm about to play now. It's called "When Angels Fall."
Okay.
I kind of when I started creating this track that I'm about to play, I kind of had Eminem in mind. As far as his hardship and being in the industry and how people viewed him. And it was just, to me, it's an emotional track that I felt like something that's a piece of paper that somebody can write to.
Okay.
That's the kind of emotion, that's what I was feeling through this track when I created it.
Okay. You wanted basically the listener or even the artist to kind of like vent out emotionally what they're feeling.
Because music, like I said, music can be medicine. You have people that can't talk, can't express themselves. But when they hear music, like you have the artists with writer's blocks, they can't really write something. Having a hard time writing, but let them hear that right track, it'll just spill all out.
I agree.
Things that they didn't even think about writing, it'll just spill out because the track talks to you. And all they do is answer back.
Nice.
I have another track. This one when I did this one, I kind of had Drake in mind for this one.
Drake, is that?
Yeah, Drake. His flow, his demeanor, I could really hear him on this, and then that helped me go in a direction. It became more orchestrated to me. It became more dynamic, more three-dimensional, and I felt like even though this track, it doesn't have a lot of detail, but it gets to the point.
Okay.
And this track too, I named it The Other Chick. It's also a track that's also emotional, that you can also get out what you have to say. I like creating those tracks that can be emotional because those emotional tracks are tracks that stick with people, and you always remember them. You always remember them. Like hip hop R&B-ish. Like when I did this track, I had Mary J. Blige in mind when I did this track.
Okay.
Because
I could vision her on this.
The story she tells and herself, what she's been through, and she shares that with people. And she shares that with people through her music. That inspired me when I did this track.
Okay.
But I like creating all kinds of music. Whether it be pop, whether it be R&B, whether it be rap, hip hop, I just let my emotions flow.
Gotta run from there.
Yeah. That I also did, there's another one I kind of had T.I. in my mind when I did this one, because I could hear T.I. on this track.
And it's funny you say that, because as you explain it as an artist, I'm getting the feeling, the emotion driven from the beat of them on it particularly.
Nothing but an example of the different kind of stuff that I do. I also, sometimes I feel in that when I want to take it back to that 80s era. Sampling, I find myself, I don't even sample that much because I like creating a lot of the tracks from scratch. But this I can say is one track right here. It's one track I actually sampled, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. And
actually, I myself heard the speech and was definitely pleased by it.
And if people ask me too, it's like, what did you sample? And I tell them the movie Glory. The movie Glory that it had that fight in it. And it was a scene at the end of coming towards the end of the movie while they was running on the trench, up the trench, before they got blasted. That you heard this in the background, but what I did was when I sampled it, I took it up a couple octaves.
Okay. I can't find.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when you hear it, you try to picture where you're not gonna it don't sound like it came from there. But because I changed the octave and sped it up, it gave the track that fight, that chant.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of things as far as what I do. And like I said, I do it because I love it. You can check more of my tracks out on my SoundClick page, soundclick.com/Tnote.
Okay.
And on that's pretty much my page site where I will upload new music from time to time. And you can check that out at any time.
Okay, cool.
But
and any email, anything if anybody want to reach out to you?
Oh, you can email me at headnoddproductions@gmail.com.
Cool.
Headnodd with two D's, N-O-D-D. Production spelled regular.
Okay.
But you can email me, hit me up. You got any questions, requests? No problem.
Reach out to them.
Reach out.
I hope y'all hear that out there, artists and
Reach out,
producers
baby.
alike.
Reach out.
Reach out. All right, man. It was good having you today, man.
No problem, man.
All right, peace.